working, you ain't had no break. You the only person here. That's fucked up. Things start to happen that was kind of weird. Time that we get to the bottom of this. No more hiding, no more cover-ups. It's time to solve this. Then I found out the sales lead that was there, she was leaving and moving away. And so I knew at that point that I was going to be in the store alone. And the girl, the teenage girl that worked there, she was mainly working her other job. So after a while, she left too. So I was in the store by myself. I was running the store alone. I was, at that time, because we were short-staffed, we closed the store at 8 o'clock. I got like help maybe once from corporate. They came through. A corporate manager came through and she brought a lot of other managers, store managers from different stores, and they helped me with the store, fixing the store up and what's not. But that was never, in my opinion, that was never the problem. The problem was staffing. I mean, you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this, is that we had an issue at the store and it was staffing. That was the main issue. Everything else could have just easily been fixed, in my opinion. But staffing was always the problem. So we get to the end of the year, I'm the only person at the store. I'm the only person at the store. So it comes even down to the point of like, I wanted to buy things and there was no one to ring me up. So I couldn't use my discount on some of the clothes at the time that I wanted to purchase something. So I would ring myself up as a customer. So I would pay the customer price. I wouldn't modify it or do anything like that. That would be malicious. I just wanted to buy an item and there was no one working at my store. Was that the right thing to do? No. I wanted to buy the item. That's all I was thinking about, was like, I'm working my fucking ass off. I'm in this store all this whole holiday season has been horrible. I just been losing people left and right. I don't have any support. I was depressed. I literally was depressed. And I was like, I want to at least give myself a reward for doing my job, for sticking it out, for not quitting, for not leaving like everybody else did. And I bought the items with my money, and at the time in the register system, I could do that. I could literally just, and in my opinion, I shouldn't have been alone. I shouldn't have been working alone, but I was working alone in the store and I bought those items. Yes, I did. And when I was questioned about it, I said it because I don't have nothing to hide. That was an example of something that I felt like I had to do because I wanted to purchase something. Me saying that is an example of me doing something that I wasn't supposed to do within policy, but something I felt like happened because of the lack of staffing. Had someone been there to ring me up, I would have never did that. And I mean, that happened on a regular basis. There was nobody in the store with me on a regular basis. I couldn't even get a break sometimes. I couldn't even get lunch sometimes. This man was like, oh my God, you're working. You ain't had no break? You the only person here? That's fucked up. We buy you lunch. That's fucked up. Like, that's fucked up. And I'm not excusing that behavior, because looking back at it, of course I shouldn't have did that. Okay, it ain't that serious. If I just wanted something, then I guess I was just gonna have to wait months and months to buy it, or just not buy it at all. But yeah, looking back on it now, I would say I wish I never bought it at all, because it just, was it worth it? No. February, we get a new store manager. She's amazing. She's literally like a breath of fresh air. She's completely different from the last manager. She also brings people with her. I didn't even know if I wanted to talk like solely about this, but I guess I'm just trying to give a backstory as to how much I've been through at this job. Like, I went from one manager to a good manager. She stayed. I want to kind of speed it up because I don't want to talk too much about it. But this manager was great. She, although I felt like she, we had, like, I started to see that there's similarities in issues that I have with people when I work. And that's that our personalities, like, if you have personality, then we rock. Like, we rock together. But when it came to us actually, like, meeting in the middle for management things, like, as far as the girls and development, I felt like she was just too nice. Like, me, I'm not very, like, I can't say I'm mean, but I'm in reality. Like, if I feel like someone is lacking leadership and they need to step their game up, then I'll pull them to the side and tell them that. And she just wouldn't do that. And it would get on my nerves. And I'd just be like, I know you're nice, but everything isn't rainbows and cookies and shit. Like, if she's not doing what she needs to do, she needs to be told that so that she is under pressure so that she can get better. And there's a way to help her get better, but it's like, we're not doing that, then no one gets better at their job. So when she came, I felt like a lot of people were hired to be sales leads and or promoted too quickly, like before they was ready. So they made a lot of mistakes, or they just didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It wasn't the same when I was a sales lead. So at the time, I was still a sales lead, but I was like the sales lead, like the elite sales lead. I had a difficult time. Like, I mean, I trained them because she didn't want to. I think she would tell me, like, she doesn't have to do that, but I didn't see it that way. I felt like I take everything very seriously. And I feel like I do need to ease up when it's not my company. I think that's the problem that, like, I can hold myself accountable for, is that I gave a fuck too much. Like, too much. And to me, it was minimal. Like, it's just like wanting people to be good. And the thing is that people don't want to be good. That's the problem. People don't want to be good. People want to be low level, low vibration, low energy, low income. I could keep going. People just don't want to be great these days. And I don't do well with being around people that think like that. That doesn't do anything for me. That doesn't do anything for me. At all. At all. That does not do anything for me. Like, no. I hate being around people that don't want to grow, don't have anything going on, don't think, don't care. I hate being around people like that. So those type of people started getting hired. And from management level to like lower sales associate level as well, or stylist. And I mean, we went from no staff to like staff that was like mediocre, like real quick. And it was kind of like, because they were so mediocre, we had to try to force them to be better. And they didn't care, like, about being better. And they weren't like, I just don't know. I just feel like they weren't leaders, in my opinion. They weren't leaders at all. And in the store that I worked at, you had to have some type of personality, some type of energy. And we talked about that. We agreed on that. Like, if they don't have energy, if they don't have personality, then they can't get hired. We talked about stuff like that. So that was all good and dandy. But it still kept happening. Like, it still kept happening. And then after a while, I think it happened because I think the store manager, it just didn't want to be in the store no more. Like, it got old to her really quick. Like, she started to lose interest as the months went by. Like, she didn't really want me to help her with floor set or anything like that. So I didn't really get any visual training. And that's really what I wanted, because the previous store manager wasn't really like letting me do visuals either. Like, I would always tell him I would want to help. I want to do this. I want to do that. And he didn't want any help with that. And I felt like I met other people from other stores too, and they were kind of the same way, but I think it's because they used to not having like good help. I'm good help. If you don't get to do what you want to do in your job, then it's kind of boring. So I was getting bored. So for instance, one time he had me do mannequins, and he was like, do 4 mannequins over here. I was like, cool, I'm gonna put my ass in these fucking mannequins. And he told me he liked every one of them. And then I came in the next day and he changed all of them. And I was just like, he said he liked it at the time. And then he was like, oh, I changed. Like, he saw me looking over there and he was like, oh, I changed my mind. It would be like, what? What? I was just like, why I do stuff like that? Like, it's just so weird. But yeah, this specific manager, I felt like after a while, she was just hiring people so that she didn't have to close, or she didn't have to be in the store that much. So they would make mistakes, and we started as she came in, we made hella money. I ain't gonna lie. We probably made the most money when she was there. And it was because the energy was good. She had her own energy, and then I smashed energy with her, and it was good. Like, it was really good energy passing around the store. It was good vibes. And, you know, towards, I want to say, like, April, like, other stores needed help, so they would remove her out of the store and keep me in the store. So that started happening, and she got switched to go back to my store to help them. And she didn't like that. It's a slow store. It's boring. You know what I'm saying? It's the opposite of our store, basically. So she was really unhappy there, like, for that time. And then in May, I got promoted to assistant manager after being asked did I want the position in November of the last year, to waiting till May to get promoted. That's what happened. So I got promoted in May to assistant manager, and then my store manager, she left in July. So she wasn't in the store from May to July. And then, like, she will probably come back in, like, I think she will work a Saturday or so. Get her at the other store so much that she was just really unhappy, like I said. And it just didn't feel right for her no more. So she ended up, like, quitting in July. And, you know, I was in the store, like, after my promotion, I was in the store for, like, almost 3 months alone, like, the only, like, higher up manager in the store. And then after she left in July, it was like that for the rest of the summer. So it was hella busy. Every single day it was busy. It was hot as hell. I had enough sales leads, but none of them were good. So before she left, she hired my sister. And my sister, I asked my sister, like, months before, did she want to work there? Really just because overall it was a good job. Like, overall, I thought that it would be something good for her to do. I thought it would be something that she enjoyed. Little did I know, I was inviting her into a mess, and it was only going to get worse after she came. So she had been working as a stylist for a few months, and need I mind you, I never knew that it was an issue that her working there would be a problem, because at the time we just didn't have any good enough sales leads. And the sales leads that were there, the problem is their availability. Like, one could only work on the weekends, but at certain times on the weekend. And one could only work, like, certain days out of the week. So we still needed someone to fill in those gaps. And I knew that my sister would be good, would be loyal, would be on time, would have personality. And that was something that the other girls had lacked. They didn't have any personality. They didn't have any leadership. I would have to get them to speak to people, get them to walk them to the fitting room. It was just too much work. I still felt like I had to give up my energy because we weren't they weren't giving up. They weren't doing their job. So I felt like I had to overdo mine. So it was exhausting. And I knew that she would want to come in and help. But I didn't know what I was inviting her into. It just got worse from there. It just got worse from there. So the store manager, she left in July. I took over the store from July to October. I was the only person there as far as like higher up managers. A lot of things happened in between July and October. The sales leads that were there, they got fired. And it was just me and my sister, really, in the store. It was just us two. You know, as the months went by and that store manager quit, like other people quit too. So we didn't have any stylists, and then all we had was sales leads. And then when it was just me, my sister, and then the two other sales leads, it was just four of us. And then when they got fired, it was just us two. So we were the only two people in the store. And I was back to deja vu, feeling like, what the fuck? It's happening all over again. At that point, I should have quit. I feel like that was a definite sign that it was time for me to go. But I stayed still. I still stayed. And a part of me, I stayed because I wanted to get enough experience as an assistant manager, because I knew I didn't want to do it again unless it was my own business. I knew I didn't want to do management again. I knew this would be the first and last time like I was an assistant manager, because I just can't take it. Like I can't take it. The things that corporate makes a problem that isn't a problem isn't the main issue. Is crazy. Like we had in between July and October, we had people fly in to help us do the floor set and stuff like that. Floor set and keeping the store looking nice was more important than them actually hiring people in the store and working us half to death. Me and my sister worked half to death. We were exhausted. Like I even quit. Like I even actually quit in August. Like I wrote a letter of resignation. I still have it as proof. I have two different ones. I wrote it. Ironically, I sent it to the wrong damn email of the higher ups, but I actually quit like in August. Like, and maybe that was a sign that I just quit mentally, because I just couldn't do it no more. Like I just was exhausted. It was summer. Summer was ending. It was just so depressing. I didn't get in the pool or nothing. It was so fucking depressing. I have evidence. I have photos of how dirty they was being in the store, of how they would leave racks full of clothes that they didn't put away. Like they just didn't give a fuck. They did not care. Like, and it put a lot of stress on me, and it pissed me off, because I felt like, you know, if a store manager was here, they would have never did that. And it also pissed me off because I can't fire anybody. I'm not the store manager. I'm still assistant manager. So if there's anything going wrong, it's like I can't fix it because I'm just assistant manager. Throughout the time that she left, or the previous manager left, I never had a conversation with higher ups like, hey, we're going to pay you, we're going to give you a salary increase during this time, that there's no store manager for the inconvenience because it's not your fault, but you are going to be acting BTL, so you'll have more responsibility. I was never given a conversation like that, but I was expected to do things that were beyond my job description, and that's not fair. It's not fair to, you know, and granted, you can't control people wanting to keep their job or not, but you cannot overwork people. You cannot blame them for things that are happening in the store when they're not a store manager. Like, I was not getting paid or anything like that. So I was doing the best that I could. That time they were being dirty. They weren't cleaning up. They weren't taking out the trash. They weren't talking to guests. They weren't doing shit. People were stealing in the store. They would just, people would notice that those girls was working. They would come in and steal. How do I know? Because those same girls would look in the store and see me and then run out or walk out or not come in at all. Because they knew I wasn't playing that shit. Like, I was getting pissed that people were stealing that much because it just was out of control. And it's a lot of the Caucasians. The Caucasian people always want to do the videos of people looting like the Louis V stores and shit like that because they know that it's black people. They like to put that on TV, but it's really white people, white teenagers, the suburbans, the shelter ones. They're the ones that stealing. They're the ones that stealing. I seen it with my own fucking eyes. I seen it with my own eyes. They steal really bad. And they have mommy's credit card. Ain't nobody that's black stealing. We're not stupid. We are not trying to get bagged up and fucking thrown away in jail and killed. We are not dumb. Okay? Like, it was really bad around that time. And, yeah, we had some things happen in the store, so corporate had to come through. And like I said, the priority was fixing the store, making it clean. It wasn't staffing the store. It wasn't, it was micromanaging. You know, the people that have been working their asses off for months in the hot ass fucking summer, you want to come through and just micromanage the shit out of the people that's working hard as fuck, that's keeping the doors open, that's keeping the people coming back. You want to do that shit. But you don't want to hire anybody so that we can have some relief, so that I can do my PTO. Like, after they got fired or suspended, like, it was just us two in the store. So, it's like, I don't even remember what happened because it was just so much. It was just me and Bianca and just me and Bianca. And then we had a few people from another store that came and helped us for a few weeks until, I think, or a month. Yeah, like the whole month of September, we had help from another store. We had like four people come to help us from another store. And, that was September. Now October, we got a store manager, and I was on the fence of her from the very beginning because she was very conservative and kind of closed off when I met her. So I was just like, if she's like this all the time, this is not gonna be good, because you gotta have some energy, you feel me, or it's not gonna work. So, you know, I'm usually right about these things. It was the way it was. She remained that way the entire time. And she was just very, like, she just seemed tired. You know what I mean? She seemed tired all the time. Like, she just had a lack of personality. So that was like a red flag for me. She was very, like, by the book, like, by the policy, which was necessary. But it's like, she didn't smash it with being hands-on. Like, I just thought it was a red flag that she didn't know. Like, she got flued out for training at a store that was just as busy as ours, and she didn't know how to do like a return when she came to our store. I was just like, what? Like, it was just confusing things. So when she was there, I feel like she tried it too. And she learned. But she lasted a month. So she left without any, like, I mean, her being there was a blur, to be honest. The one thing she did that I didn't like was that she waited until shipment piled up. We had so much shipment. And it's because she just didn't go through the boxes. And yeah, it was just a lot. The whole time, like, the district manager was talking to her about her hours and that she didn't have enough hours in the store. And it was a lot of stuff going on that I had no idea about behind the scenes. But she ended up leaving the store at the end of October. I had no idea. Like, she left right before, I think, Halloween. I got another call from a higher up telling me that she had quit and that she was no longer with us. And I was super confused, and my sister was there with me working that day, so we were both like, looking like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? So it was bad. It was bad. Like, this was my third manager, store manager, that had quit in the span of like almost a year. It was 3 store managers that had quit. And, you know, we already didn't have any staff at our store. So it was just like, as soon as she came, like, we stopped getting as much help from the other people at the other store. So it was just too much. And then, you know, November comes. We kind of like, she leaves before Halloween. So it's like a few weeks before the end of the month she left. So we started pulling, we was in a hole. Like, I have never seen us not make no money, like, in a whole month. So it was really bad. October was really bad, like really, really bad. So then we fast forward to November, everything is groovy. We starting to get more, like, people spending money, the deals are better in the store, like people's energy is great. Like, we starting to get like a store manager, and I like her, she's cool, but things start to happen that was kind of weird. Like, I came to the store one day and all the managers from all the other stores was there, and I was opening up the store. And, I mean, my schedule said 9:45, so I felt like if there was something extra I had to do, then my schedule would look like, I just would assume that there would be a reason, like, I would have to come in there early, like, so my schedule wasn't changed, so I didn't know I had to do something else. But there was allegedly a workshop that was supposed to happen at our store, and I didn't know because I didn't read the email. And it was a lot to do in the store. Like, the store was super big. It's not a small boutique like everybody else's store. Like, so things like posting on the thread and doing the emails and doing all these things, it's hard to do. It's hard to do when you're in a store like that. So I didn't read this one email, and she was like, oh, it was a workshop. I thought you were going to be here, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, girl, bye. I already seen you do this multiple times. And I worked the previous night, so like a lot of the things that I saw that she changed, it wasn't cute, and it pissed me off because I had changed some of the mannequins in the store, and it was cool. Like, it worked. It was great. And I could show y'all some pictures too of my mannequins throughout my time. Like, that was the best part of like the management leaving, because I got some of the creative control. But that was like that was the first time I got blindsided. I should have already knew like something wasn't right, because like it threw me off. I spilled coffee on my shirt. I had a cute ass outfit on. I was just completely thrown off. Like, it was just so weird that had happened. And it was just really weird that happened. And I couldn't stop thinking about it all day after they left. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Because I was just like, it's just too much. All this micromanager shit is just too much. It's just way too much. So that was like the previous week to me getting suspended, was that happening. I was completely thrown off. It was so weird. And then I'm trying to think if something else happened before that. We had like a few people from Atlanta come and help us previous to that. I want to say the first week of November. And, you know, one thing that one of them said stuck to me, and she told me to watch out. I like, what? So basically, the day that I got suspended, I was working, everything was regular. Like, it was a regular day. And it was cool. Like, the new manager was there. She was fixing stuff around the store. She was telling me about a lot of the changes that's about to happen. We was talking about holiday music. It was good. Like, it felt good. It felt really good. And I still, like, even thinking about it now, I still can't believe that I'm not there. It's only been like 2 weeks. but it's just weird because it was a part of my routine. I got a phone call from someone from HR, and she basically was talking to me about a lot of the theft that happened in the store. And she was just asking me, like, how do I think that would happen? And I just was honest with her, and I said, ma'am, like, these girls in this mall, they be stealing. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, they steal. They know things about the store. We don't have sensors on any of the items. We don't have, like, the alarm system. We don't have an alarm system for any of the items. They know that it's a sweet deal. Anything that's a lick, you know, teenage-wise, they're gonna do it. A lot of teenagers steal. I even stole when I was a teenager, like, but it was for different reasons. Like, I didn't have any money. Like, the weird thing about these teenagers is that they steal, and they have money. Like, I stole things that I needed from CVS, like pads or something like that, because I needed it, because I didn't have the money and I couldn't get it from my parents or whatever. But, like, before I started working, and once I started working, I saw the value of $1. I didn't steal anymore. I didn't want to. And it felt better to spend my own money, to spend my hard working money. It felt good. It felt responsible. So me, you know, so, I mean, I've even had guests come up to me and say, hey, like, they're stealing over here. Like I said, with the girls that were in the store, like, I noticed things were happening because we would have a lot of people in the store, but the girls that were working, they would be clicked off together, like behind the register, and then everybody would be out on the floor fiending for themselves, and that's when they could steal. And that was, like, she was asking me about that, and I was like, I mean, they steal. They steal. Not only is this the store that's making the most, one of the stores that's making the most money in the company, but it's also high theft. It's a high theft area. It's a high theft time. Like, and she was saying that she thought that it was happening internal, and I was like, who? Who would do it? Who's doing it? I don't think it's internal. I don't think anybody is stealing. And I resent that accusation. Like, I don't think anybody in here is stealing. I think that it's them. It's the people that come in here. It's the teenagers. They're stealing. They are stealing. So, that's what I told her. We went from talking about that to talking about me. And real fast. She asked me about a few transactions. And long story short, I'm going to just say, like, I think that they just came up with something to fire me, because it was completely untrue and completely fabricated. And it's crazy too, because being black and being a female, it just makes me feel like I don't have any help. Like, I would love to do this the legal route and prosecute them and do what I feel like a lot of other people should have done. And I'm really making this video because I know it's a lot of other people that have been through horror stories with this company and can feel a lot of my pain. I think a lot of people out there, I even saw some reviews on Indeed about, like, let me go to one, hold on. And one person said that, you know, upper management seriously needs some help because they have a lack of accountability when they make mistakes. And someone else said that, you know, district managers, they only care about the BTLs. And if your BTL or store manager decides to leave, then the ATL, which is the assistant manager, has to take over everything without getting a bonus or getting a promotion or any type of compensation for that. And that it's a lot of theft, but there's nothing we can do about it. There's no security. Like, in my store, the cameras didn't work. Like, it's a lot of money that, and recently, get this, recently they just opened a new store in a different state. So I'm like, okay, you guys have some money, but you just choose not to put the money where it needs to be. We need security. I guarantee you, if we have security, it'll be, it would be like minimal to no theft. If we had security, it wouldn't be any theft at all. But they don't want to hire anybody. They don't want to pay anyone to work. This is the thing with corporate, is that they refuse to believe that the policies that they're making is what's stopping the growth of the business. This place, we can make $4,000 every single day. They always change their promotions. Sometimes their promotion is 50% off, whatever the case may be. Y'all know how the promotions is there. Come on now. Come on. If they change their return policy, if they change the policies for the employees, a lot of discrepancies. There's a lot of room for gray area in this company, and they don't get it. Like, they don't really get it. They don't get that nowadays you have to be willing to pay people. Like, for me, I felt like I could have got paid a lot more for everything I did for that store. I could have got paid a lot more. And the fact that it wasn't even something that they brought up about paying me more throughout all of those different changes and discrepancies, it was nothing keeping me there. So when I finished talking to the lady on the phone, I already accepted that it was over, and I just wanted to hurry it up. So I was just like, what do you want me to do? Because I don't know what you're getting at. You're not going to fucking accuse me of stealing out this fucking store. And you can check my account right now. I've spent over $2,000 of my own money at this fucking store. So why would I steal anything? I have all of my receipts from my transactions of October. I spent money almost every single day of October because I worked almost every single day. I'm a Taurus. I work hard. I'm about integrity. I'm about passion. I'm about fashion. And I'm just not a bullshitter. I don't like people that lie. I don't like bullshitters. I don't like people that half-ass shit. I don't like none of it. So, like, I'm a Taurus. I could say that like 3 times fast because it means everything. Like, I like spending money. I like making money. But you're not going to accuse me of doing something that I didn't do. And you're not going to sit up in my face and throw it in my face that I had my sister hired when it was okay. You never said anything. You never said she can't work here. You never said I'm going to move her to a different store because I don't want it to be a conflict of interest. You never said anything like that. You hired her. You saw that we had the same last name. We didn't hide anything. We were very professional. No one knew that we were sisters. The only people that cared was the people that wasn't doing their fucking job. I treated her just like everybody else. So I was getting irritated with them keep bringing her up when you're talking to me because you're making it a problem when she's definitely one of the most loyal and hardworking people here. So that was becoming a problem for me when she got hired, but now it's an issue. Okay, cool. So I feel like they just made up some transaction saying that I rung myself up recently and they suspended me for it. And you know what? What I'm not going to do is show my ass in a different state that I don't live in and get arrested. And for my first time, by the way, because I've never been arrested before and I'm not going to get arrested now. So I was just like, it's not even worth yelling on the phone, getting upset. I know she recording this. So I had an extreme like lack of interest in the conversation on the phone. I had an extreme lack of interest on the phone. Like, I just started to power down because I was just like, this ain't for me. I was just like, all right, I'm done with it. Because I was already done. And to be honest, this last week, I made myself feel bad. I felt like really sad about it. Because I liked the job, but now that I have time to think and like put shit into perspective, it was way too much. It was like running your own business, and I already have one. And I saw, and the thing that I can take away from this company is that I saw a lot of the things that you should not do. I saw a lot of things that you should not do. I saw that, I definitely learned that you have to spend money in a business like that. You have to spend money on the right things, and you have to pay people what they deserve, and you have to use your time wisely and spend time doing things that's going to really help the store. And you have to listen to the people that are there all the time, because they have the key to the success of the store, especially if they care enough to be vocal about, hey, I think that if we change this, this would be better. You have to talk to people that are talking to your target market. If you don't do that, you're going to lose every time. If you have someone in your store that cares enough to talk to the people, and they're getting their feedback, and they're trying to relay it to you, but you think you know everything because you're corporate and all that shit, you're not going to be successful. I can guarantee you the amount of impact and time and care that I gave to those guests that came to that store, I'm always going to be remembered, and it's not going to be the same without me, and at all. Like, the amount of sister girl energy in there was lethal, and it was addicting. It was addicting, and what it did was the store stood on its own merit because of the energy that was there. Like, I can guarantee you, now I could go shop anywhere in any location, but I can guarantee you that a lot of people, they're not going to shop there anymore. But they chose our specific location, not just because it was the biggest or because they had more clothes or whatever, because of who was there. And I'm just happy that I was a part of that success, because I definitely wasn't the only one. But I just thought it was like ironic that I got suspended on the day that my district manager wanted me to take a picture with the team to celebrate us making it to $1 million. I thought that was crazy. So if I could take that away, if I could take anything away from that, I could say, like, at least I got the store to $1 million before I left. So, because it's going to go down now. It's not going to be the same. And granted, they have a good store manager, but it's not going to be the same. The energy that is is gone. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like I said, I'm going to talk about it a little bit more with B. Octavia, and we're going to talk about, like, 9 to 5 life as well. So if you're interested in that topic, like, make sure you tune in, because it's going to be good. Okay, bye.